Beastmaster, Dead Prophet, and Batrider. Your normal heroes that are most likely to be banned out in the first stage. However, Timbersaw went through, Kotl went through, Chen goes through, Bristleback.
Bristle Kotl most likely. There we go. Yeah. And this is the thing about NiP. They're very bread and butter with their picks. Like they have the Kotl available. They'll always go for the Kotl pairing first, and then once that's not there, then they go into like Plan B, Plan C. But right now, it's if Kotl's available, Kotl TB if they're first pick, because of course they can see two heroes to pick TB. And if they're second pick, it'll just be the strongest Kotl +1 they have. So
I like the Pugna versus Bristleback though as well. Even though you have the Kotl with the Chakra Magic, Pugna's ward can make Bristleback's life a little bit more...
but the changes in the patch does make it a little bit more clunky.
I mean, the ward doesn't last as long. It's about 18 seconds, but now when you have Pugna and the Timbersaw that you picked up, you didn't ban the Timbersaw, you let the Bristle go. Bristle gets picked up, you go for the Timbersaw. It's really obvious.
I would like to see Pugna transition, because I know in the previous games it's been a support. I'm a big fan of it going back to the mid lane and being just that decent laner into the fact that you can just plow down towers. And it plays really well.
Yeah, but that's what you do as position 4 as well.
Sure, but I think with the changes, like I think just the general look at the hero and like Decrep being shorter, the fact that Never Ward's a little bit like, you want level as quick as possible just to ruin the game. And I think core Pugna could do a lot of damage. And of course they first picked, right? So there's a lot of flexibility.
And they banned out Nyx as well.
Yeah.
It's one of the heroes
it demolishes game, right?
It demolishes Pugna. It's also good versus Timbersaw, but it mostly demolishes Pugna. So that does make sense. Perhaps they will put the Pugna on a core position to throw a curveball.
We'll I won't lie, I was probably getting a bit carried away with that one. Just because in reality, you want to have a vessel buyer, you want to have a game to play, and if you put... But we'll see for now. I'd like to keep it open. I don't want to initially assume it's a support. That's the main thing.
And when we're looking at this, how much do you think NiP, aka Chicken Fighters, have which way you can look at it? How are they feeling after obviously they've gone through this, they've taken the loss to OG.Seed before? Do you think they would have been able to learn enough to say, okay, look, we can redraft in a more successful way?
This already looks like a completely different strategy from those first two games that they played versus OG.Seed when they were Chicken Fighters still. In those two games they had either a Naga core or a Luna core or something like that, position 1 that is.
Yep.
If this Bristleback is played by Charlie, is it?
Charlie.
I think this already looks more solid. At least it looks more in the meta and it looks easier to execute. The only problem is that Bristleback already has two heroes that are strong against him.
Yeah, but then if you look at the flip side, it's a really solid Rubik game. Obviously against Timbersaw, it's going to have a good time. Or you got good spells to still so far. The issue I think I find is you don't have a vessel buyer right now. You can maybe buy it on Rubik, but you don't ever really want to.
Did you try Skadiu so far?
I have not picked up myself personally, but I've seen it have good effect on certain heroes like Weaver, TB.
I was just playing some Bounty Hunter, and for some reason we win one single crazy team fight with 5 track kills, right? And I have 4,000 gold. Of course,
gotta test it out. Why not?
Gotta test it out, and it's really strong.
And they go for the Bounty Hunter.
Go for the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, this was actually Saberlight played a really mean Bounty Hunter during the ESL tournament, and it was one of his standout heroes. And it does apply that logic of they're going to have a decent enough laning phase, and they want to be able to collapse the map and play off that. The fact that you have this Bounty Hunter in games where you don't really want to farm, but you want to find gold, obviously Bounty Hunter, it's that one hero that does that for you.
It's not only that, it's the changes, right, to the changes to the gold and the way you earn it right now. There's 10% less gold all among the creeps that are giving you, right, the neutrals at least. But now when you put the Bounty Hunter into the game, something like a Doom Bounty Hunter does make a lot of sense because they have this way of generating gold for your team.
And especially when you don't have many stuns right now showing on Radiant, right, like OG.Seed, they've got Pugna, their only stun, is Snapfire Cookie right now. And Bounty Hunter loves playing these types of games. He's very quick. Okay, they go for the Monkey King. So I guess they're trying to set themselves up for potentially just a decent enough laning phase, especially if it's going to be the Bounty Hunter already core, so Monkey should have an okay time there.
They also have two heroes that are pretty decent versus Meepo, so they don't necessarily have to ban it out, right?
They're covering themselves from the cheese pick, sure. I think that is the main thing. When you see these picks so far, they have very much set themselves up for their win condition being the mid. So I personally think right now, like, you've got the chance of TA being very prominent.
You mean for NiP?
For NiP, yes, sorry, yeah. because you have the Bristle safe lane, Bounty off lane, and then from those you need to be able to win the game,
You
right?
just need a playmaker on mid, honestly. Bristleback right now is completely capable of being your win condition. That
Are you not scared though of relying? No, but I mean relying on the Bristle when you have the Timber on the other
Monkey,
team.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a fair point.
You just want to you want to just diverse your draft a little bit, have another way of ending the game, and then you're fine, right? They ban out Lina actually.
Why would they do that? Why would they ban out Lina? That's also very peculiar. Are they
Probably,
gonna...
but at this point, I'll boil it down to just wave clear. The fact that you want to be able to just push out waves. Pugna can do it if.
I mean, it is one of the standard heroes for OG.Seed on that mid lane, right?
Decent against the Coddle.
Yeah.
If you have the range, go onto the Will-O-Wisp. I'm really reaching here. I don't really like Lina, to be honest. I won't lie. I think I had one game against it where they went pure right click Lina, and it was disgusting. But it was a pub, so it didn't really have much value. I just don't really see the ban here. And again, these guys probably scrimmed each other. They probably know a bit more, but Lina right now, not really touched.
It's to confuse them.
Yeah.
Throw them off.
What are we banning, guys?
Why did we do this? What's the point?
Just ban the stupidest hero, you know. All right.
And I think that NiP have set themselves up for a really nice last pick. Like your
I
lanes
love
are
their
pretty.
draft, by the way. Already, these 4 heroes look, they're checking all the boxes. You have a lot of teamfight that's good. You have this bounty hunter that's very active early on, together with the bristleback. Perhaps your objective taking isn't necessarily too strong at the moment.
But for now, like that's the thing, they still have that pick. And I think the main thing is NiP, there's such a clear game plan. Play the lanes, run around as this death ball and sweep across the map, pick off after pick off. They'll run behind towers or do whatever they want. Whilst OG.Seed, they don't really have anyone who wants to stop that aggression, right? Like Timbersaw can be annoying and maybe so can, but you can ignore him, just run past him, go next. And Monkey King, Pugna, Snapfire, these heroes don't like being ran at. Bounty Hunter against Monkey King, such a Bounty King, that's a mixture. They've had a baby.
Bounty King.
The Bounty Hunter favorite matchup. You track him, he's now trying to run around on trees, doesn't really matter, right? So
yeah, even in the laning stage, you can deal with him. I played that matchup so many times, and if you don't take Shadow Walk at all, if you just max out your Shuriken, right? Like, it dishes out 300 damage, level 3. You can take him down on that 2-on-2 scenario. And I most likely think this Monkey will be their safe lane, Queen of Pain will be mid.
Yes,
Queen of Pain,
sure.
super popularized, has been buffed up the last 10 patches or something like that. So
OG.Seed right now is so reliant on having the Monkey King and the Co-op have a good lane to then just be able to play off of their timings. Like the fact that Monkey King can't be so freely aggressive.
I have a feeling that they're trying to match the aggression, right? When you look at
trying,
these, you
with
have
no
the Co-op.
stuns.
Yeah, you have Cookie and you have Boundless Strike. That's it. It's something, but yeah,
It's not a lot.
It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great.
But to be fair, again, you look at Dire's side as well. They don't really they have less stuns and they have puck
Right,
now.
it's a good puck game overall.
It's a really good puck game. Like when you the quad pick was trying to cover you from all of these, like the TAs, these heroes that just give themselves an easy way to win the game. And then you go, okay, cool, you pick quad. We just go for a puck. Puck against Quap, classic matchup. Puck can always dodge dagger. You then have the call against Quap the entire game.
Yeah, even with the recent nerfs for Puck, this game looks very solid. It looks great. It gives you extra burst damage. It gives you control in those backlines. It gives you the Leash versus Monkey versus Quap later versus Timbersaw, obviously. I honestly think NiP have outdrafted them here. But we'll have to wait and see how well this Bristleback will be able to play, because he is playing versus Timbersaw and Monkey, and later on you get that Skadi on Monkey, you get Silver Edge perhaps, you have Timbersaw, like it's going to be a
Yeah, I'm
very
if I had
interesting.
to go for like a bold prediction, not really a bold, it's just a prediction, I'll just go with NiP. I just think the OG.Seed, they're so reliant on their laning phase. Quap's not going to have the optimal time that you expect from Quap picks. The Monkey King against Bounty Rubik is going to be cool, but like Bounty Rubik's going to be perfectly fine. And then there's Timbersaw. Sure, it's an answer against a Bristleback, but if you have a free game, let's say you've got the stacks of Bristleback to rely on, fall back to, suddenly you have that third item BKB. Now you don't really care about
I
Timbersaw.
completely agree with you, but if I didn't watch those first 2 games, because of those first 2 games, I'm going to swing OG.Seed's way.
Sure.
But I do think NiP has a very solid chance. Like, out of those last 3 games that they've, this is the 3rd match. And this is the first one in which I see potential in their draft. I see the way for them to win.
So you're going with NiP?
Correct.
And you're going with OG.Seed. So let's find out what Toby and Syndron have got to say about this and where they think it's going to go, maybe. We're mixing up the duos here because some people like a little bit more sleep.
Here I was wondering if that'd be referred to at all.
Oh, no, of course we're
yeah.
going to refer to you,
Way to
mate.
leave him out to dry.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
So what do you guys make of it, though?
so-
Which way are you going with this? Because we saw this matchup earlier in the qualifiers, and OG, they just looked to be able to stomp them.
Yeah, I think my verdict is kind of the same as Lizards, where I think this is the best draft Chicken Fighters, or now NiP, have had against this. But I cast the last series, and OG.Seed kind of just ran them over. So we'll see. I favor OG.Seed for sure, based on the previous encounter, but this is a closer game. I think I would agree with that.
It's a new brand. It's a new start. That's what NiP flagged it as in their social media, right? Like it's a new era. That's
Well,
right.
that can be both good and bad, right?
Yeah. I suppose you're taking a TI winner and going the opposite direction. Hey, it could work if you can get a kill over on Z-Freak, but that ain't gonna happen.
Too quick. So this draft from OG.Seed, I would say it's a little bit different from what they had the last time around. I think this time they have a little bit less pushing power. They have the Pugna as the primary pushing hero with Nether Blast, but outside of that, they don't have like their Dragon Knight, for example, that they've played a good amount on Chessy. So it should be maybe a slower game from them. And on the other side, it's a bit of a faster game from an NiP because Charlie is finally not playing Naga Siren, but playing something that wants to get involved more early on. So there's definitely a tempo change in the approach to the game. And I like seeing that from an NiP because I think their previous drafts with Carry, I think it was Naga and Luna, just didn't cut it for me. I think this is more in tune with what works right now.
Oh, they have to learn. There's still a lot of experience in this NiP lineup dating back a while too. So they couldn't adapt after being smacked down before. Like you can't make the same mistake twice. Small change up. Let Bristleback and Coddle have their good fun up on the top lane. How do you like the Bounty Hunter pickup from Saberlight? Apart from the fact that his set's really, really cool, but like, how do you like the lane?
I don't know how good the lane is. I think so what was the pick order here? The Bounty was picked into Timber and Pugna, I think? Monkey was a counter pick to Bounty. And I think once Monkey King hits level 3, this lane gets really difficult for the Bounty Hunter. It's just the Jingu Master is way too overpowering. But right in the start, he's okay. Not too hopeful, though, for this bottom lane.
That's the reason why I just ran at Madara from the very beginning. It's like, okay, well, everything you've got, I guess you throw it out now. And then you got the mid matchup, Puck versus Timbersaw. That still feels like later on, like Puck should be able to have a lot more control over the Timbersaw. But how does it work for like just the laning phase? Is it just comes down to like individual play?
I feel like this is a free lane for Timber all the time.
Just because there's no harass against him as a mid hero who most mids are burning consumables.
Right. So the way Puck usually wins the lane against its opponent is with strong right-click damage and then this multiple volleys in a row with the spells. The problem is in between these volleys, the cooldowns are long enough that Timbersaw heals up too much with reactive armor level. When he's level 3, Puck can't really pressure him anymore. So in my experience of watching this lane, Timber always free farms, but at the same time, it's not one of those matchups where Timbersaw owns his opponent, right? They're both just going to farm. There's so many matchups that hate facing Timber in mid, so in that sense, it's fine for the Puck, for sure. They're probably just going to draw, I think.
And the other fun matchup is actually the effect of Z-Freak. Look, Costa was flagging it before, how the level 1 Nether Ward's actually just as good as level 2. Like, how do you actually play this top lane? Like, you got a Keeper of the Light, you want Charlie to be spamming. Do you still just keep doing that? Or can Z-Freak actually just mess with the tempo of this top lane? Considering he's trying to have a crack at Seneko at the moment. Still has stick charges himself. I don't think that's enough damage to get the kill unless he can get a blast and the attack, but he just went for the attack only.
The Pugna is really good against Bristleback in lane since the change to Nether Ward, right? But now it just got nerfed in this patch, so it's worse again in terms of duration. But as long as that Nether Ward is there, Bristleback takes too much damage from spamming Quill Spray. He takes 50 plus... What is it? The mana cost of the spell? So it's 85 magic damage every time he casts a Quill. It's way too much. But now that the ward lasts 18 seconds level 1 instead of 30, you can kind of weather the storm, and then there's like this downtime of 17 seconds. So the ward went from having an uptime of like almost 90% to 50 in this patch on level 1. It's a really big nerf. So I think Coddle Bristle is favored in this lane nowadays over time. But right in the start, obviously, 2 ranged heroes against Bristle. It's a lot of harass.
Yeah. And Quap is looking pretty good on the CS compared to the Bristle, but he's got more coming onto the tower now. So it'll start to balance out. We're going to have a nice passive start to our game.
It is interesting that they consider the Quap versus Puck matchup bad enough to choose to put Timber mid, because Timber against Bristle is obviously a great matchup. So they must really feel like Chessie's going to have too much of a hard time mid. Because usually you love having Quap in the solo lane, right? You want levels on this hero. It's a tempo hero. Get that fast level 6, you get kills with Sonic Wave, you ramp up, you snowball.
Yeah.
It's way harder to snowball in dual lanes on this hero. So
Yeah. Unless you feel like Timber needs to have more of those levels faster, like, yeah, laning up against the Bristle's going to be good. Goodbye, Rubik. Laning up against the Timber up against the Bristle sounds good, but maybe you just want to have those faster levels up on the Timber so we can deal with the Bristle back earlier.
Yeah, there's obviously benefits. It's just you look at this Radiant lineup and you imagine where the play is going to come from, where does the aggression come from, and usually Timber's way of being aggressive is very different than Queen's. Queen is a lot more about ganking, and Timber is more about, you know, pushing in lanes and just being there. But if your strong hero in the lineup is the guy who's trying to create space, and the people that take the space can't really use it, you can see there's like this bit of a disconnect in that, right? Like,
yeah,
you're making space for a Quap that can't make the plays that she wants yet. Whereas if they were swapped around, and let's say Timber's level 5 when Queen is level 7, it's like this perfect dynamic where Timber just makes space with just being there, and Quap uses all this space for aggression. So it's different.
Era's in a bit of trouble. Pexu's able to get a body block up on him. They'll try and battle for the 5-minute rune, so Era will definitely lose his life for this. But the upside is they'll end up getting both the bounty runes on bottom into the hands of NiP.
Yes, they will. That was close.
Yep. But I think they lost the one up on top. Yeah, they did.
Still a 1k gold lead already for OG.Seed here. I think the majority of it is coming from, I would say, mainly the bottom lane. There's a little bit of a win everywhere, right? They're winning a bit with Queen, they're winning quite a bit with Monkey, and the Timber is indeed free farming mid and actually outlaning the Puck of Supreme, who now gets level 6. Let's see what his plan is for movement here.
Well, I was going to go to bottom lane and help gank, but Saberlight just died down there. And this Monkey King's getting bigger and bigger. And what are you going to do? Gank up on top lane, underneath the Nether Ward, underneath the Queen of Pain who can disengage unless you hit the perfect Dream Coil?
I think you have to gank Monkey King. It's also one of those heroes that it feels really good to gank because he's a pretty snowbally carry and he has relatively low health right now. Does have a good amount of armor though.
Time to not use it. They had the Observer Ward, so Madara did see Era coming out of the trees, but not much more than that. Saberline's actually shifted towards the mid lane, so they want to change the lanes up, but Seneko caught inside the river. Bounty Hunter is like, well, I can't really help out, especially when there's cookies bouncing forward to Seneko, so he'll die in the bottom river. And Panel was saying, you were saying it, how OG just kind of outclassed NiP when they last met as their previous name, but it doesn't seem like the name changes changed things. 2k up, 4-0, and only 6.5 minutes in.
Yeah, the difference the last time around these teams met, which was I think 3 days ago, was that OG.Seed were off to a lead like this, and then NiP fought back as chicken fighters at the time. The problem was the timing of their lineup didn't really match up very well. So even if they fought well, the deck was a bit stacked against them in a sense, with especially Charlie's heroes. This time with the Bristle, I am more hopeful for them, but it's absolutely a problem being this far behind already. And you're level 7 Timbersaw taking your mid tower. And who's going to stop this exactly? I don't know.
One. If they do, there's 4 heroes ready to try and fight this. But Puck's on bottom with the Rubik, Bristle's up on top. Is like the tier 1 tower? Is it still as important to bring it down very early on?
I don't know if it's as important as before, but I would say it's still really important. This mid tower plays a super big role in the game. I was going to say, I think OG.Seed actually brought too many heroes for this. Like, if you look at the draft, how on earth are they going to kill Timbersaw? Like, I actually think Timber +1 could have taken this tower, and they
the trade-off
got a
is
bit
the
more
bottom
efficiency
tier 1.
out of the map.
Oh, Timber, he was TPing, and he ended up cancelling his TP. Yep.
See, that's what you paid, right? You could have maybe had 1 or 2 heroes defending bot while having Timber and Pugna pushing mid, for example, or you could have pressured top at the same time. So I think they missed a little bit of an opportunity there. It's still good. Like, this tower trade, you will take it any day, mid for bottom. But a little bit of a comeback there for NiP in terms of gold, right? Because you had so many heroes stuck there for like almost a minute. You had 4 heroes standing mid.
And with the amount of pressure you've also put over on Charlie, like just watching him being able to do what he's doing now, it's a huge stack to take. Easy levels, easy farm. He's already finished up the hood. No boot style bristleback. And once they're done this, they can move over and finish up the outposts as well. Middle lane, Pugna, Z-Freak being going on by Supreme as well as Era. They'll find that kill as Chessie looks for a rebuttal in towards Era, who quickly TPs out, knowing that Chessie has no disable to stop that. So stack is taken, support is sniped, and you're good to keep going.
I think he actually could have killed him if he wanted to Sonic. But it was on the edge. Like, he could have got one more hit and then Sonic, but it's...
That's a bit odd. Pexu actually smoked both himself as well as Chessie, and Chessie came down the ramp and then broke the smoke to attack the creep wave. I don't think he meant to get both. No. And it's not a ward mission either.
It might have just been a counter call. Like, Pexu's like, let's smoke top, and Chessie says this mid wave is not in a good enough position. And I think you had to push this wave out first. So.
Oh, he's coming for the outpost. Seneko is here. Era is here as well. They're blinding light him down. That actually puts him out of range to get the lift.
Why?
So, don't think that was intentional. But now the jump in. 3 heroes come together. Chessie, Madara, and Pexu all working in. And they kill off the Keeper of the Light.
So the way these outposts work is that when you tag them, the only thing that can stop you is getting stunned or interrupted, and Blinding Light is not an interrupt. That's also why Phoenix can dive, for example. He can dive over the outpost, click it, and then capture it from 1200 range away.
Oh, wow. That's a move forward. So they're already able to kill off Saberlight. Puck wants to can't join it, but he's actually trying to take the outpost. Queen of Pain's going to TP over. Puck needs to finish the outpost. They'll actually have the outpost at the 10-minute mark, but it won't stop Timbersaw underneath the tier 2 tower, killing off what is meant to be the big hero for NiP in the form of the bristleback of Charlie.
And I think OG.Seed just got 2 kills and 4 bounties just now. And the power rune bottom, and the top tower, and another kill, it looks to be.
Well, there's,
right,
they're bringing in
clean up
support.
their mess right now. They're losing way too much on the map.
Is there going to be more? Snapfire's on the run out of here. And it's taking way too long for Keeper of the Light to arrive. But even if he does, it's going to be difficult. But Bounty Hunter, he's got the speed, he's got the track, and he's got the money.
Yeah. It's something. But this, I'm looking at a big fat Timber bottom, knocking on the tier 1. At least this way, they flushed out top, right? They cleaned up the mess a little bit. Rubik got killed, but they get the counter kill and stop the push that Madara rotated up to try to get going with the siege creep. So good response there. Been a relatively quiet game for the Puck, though. Has made 1 successful kill in the mid lane.
Blinding Light trying to push him back a little bit. Keeper of the Light, well, I'll give something back to my Bounty Hunter so we can get 2 tracks up and then deny Seneko. So you'll take it.
That's good.
Then OG.Seed will also take your tier 1 tower on bottom lane. Bristol doesn't want anything to do with this, and thanks to the dive, they still have a nice Radiant Observer ward in behind the lines. So OG.Seed know exactly what they can get away with.
Oh, that's a really good Sonic. 3 heroes.
Yeah. Dream Coil, just wait it out. Let Snapfire do all of his work. Puck jumped up just to die to Z-Freak. He's got himself a double kill. Bristleback will have to run away from the drain. Seneko won't be so lucky. You can Blinding Light, but Monkey King gives the extra stun. Easy range. And easy drain. Chessie is the one to take the kill, however, denying Z-Freak his triple.
Remember when I said in the last series that they got run over?
Yeah.
It's reminding me a bit of that. It really is. Just getting outplayed. Like, OG.Seed have way higher tempo. They're bringing the right heroes to the plays. They're playing aggressive. And I think a part of the problem right now for NiP is just lack of damage, right? The damage that you truly have takes time to build up. You need Bristle back there to deal damage, but it takes time. All you have is a bit of burst from the Puck, a little bit from Rubik. But this support duo, Rubik Coddle, and then a Bounty Core. Like, your ability to take down heroes and take team fights is a lot in the utility department and not that much in the damage department right now.
Timber's off to have a little bit more fun. Yep. That's a half-decent Blinding Light, but with a haste rune on a Timbersaw, he doesn't really care that much. Even just some casual raindrops in case you think about doing any kind of magical damage.
Dire's top tower is under
I think
attack.
I'm wondering what the move now is for NiP. I think you have to incorporate Bristle in a fight. Oh, maybe it'll come to you.
Yeah, yeah.
But
A lot of heroes together. Hey, you got a Will-O-Wisp ready to go. Maybe
you're
you
not
have
fighting
some kind
without
of
Bristle anymore. It's just not. It's not happening. If you want any sort of meaningful fight, you need Coil with Bristle hitting people, but it needs to not be this guy. This guy's not gonna.
Oh, they smirk up. 3 heroes from NiP looking to achieve something here on the map. Monkey King is tracked for the moment. He's going to be the closest to him. A quick pick up, throw back down again. What have you got? Chain through, tries to get the Wukong command off. That won't be possible, or maybe it will. The Snapfire, he gets the hit off. No, not enough life. Then, well, there is no life steal for it. That was a 1-for-1 trade-off. Rubik now letting his own Spittles come out, looking for that attack in towards Z-Freak, missing the right lining for it, but it won't matter when Saberlight's able to arrive. And they'll pick up 2 for the price of 1, and maybe a 3rd if they can keep the control over on Queen of Pain. Nope. Blink away to safety. Timber and Bristle, both not there. They were both having their own duel back at the tier 2 tower in mid.
That's another solution for NiP is if they can keep Bristle and Timber, or keep Timber busy, you can win the 4-on-4, I think. It's just Timbersaw has been so powerful so far, but if he's not part of the move, it's possible for you to play it with the right engage. I think they did a really good job there of combining their spells well and getting the quick jump kill on Monkey King. He's still relatively fragile. He's the best hero to kill first here. He does a lot of damage over time, but that's classic Monkey King stuff, right? If you get jumped, a lot of the time you just vanish in 2 seconds.
They gotta try and battle on the same point. Z-Freak, man, he's always walking up high ground into no vision. Very quickly picked off.
Okay. It's starting, you know what?
What's starting it then? What exactly is starting?
It really is like the last series. It was the same. OG.Seed crushed them in lanes, then they lost a little bit of their lead in mid-game teamfights, and then they ended up cleaning it out anyway.
Madara?
It's the same pattern right now.
Pick up, throwing back down again. You got an extra cookie stun from Mira to keep that chain stun going over Madara. Now the other cookie from Pexu, pushing him forward. Monkey King able to get the slap down, some extra life, but is it going to be enough? As Bounty Hunter staying on top of the Monkey King. He's about to his 4-stack, but he's just shy of it. The Fade Ball comes through from Mira to ensure the kill. You're going to end up losing Saberlight for this. But is space created for Bristle, who's still continuously farming. They'll clean up the wave. And now Cookie forward over on the Timbersaw, but Puck, he went up into the trees. Blinked away, and with the quick little phase shift, dodges anything that's flying his way.
You're super happy with this if you're an NiP. Obviously, you got a track kill on an enemy core. Sure, you trade your Bounty Hunter away for it, but I think that's completely fine with Charlie farming at the same time. You got way more efficiency out of the map. Timbersaw showed up for this, only got 1 kill in return, so...
Now they're going to bring everybody. Bristle to the front lines. Ready for the fight. Who's going to be the primary target? He's looking for the back lines. They're looking for a good Dream Coil target, but they don't want Timbersaw, but they're going to Dream Coil him anyway. Even if you don't want him, you're going to have to take him. He'll snap on the coil. Snapfire actually caught inside the Will-O-Wisp. Same with the Timbersaw, trying to chain away. Able to do so just in time. Picked up, thrown back down again. Whirling down there, but the Sonic Wave connecting hugely from Chessie with a blink forward for a scream. And now Ninjas in Pajamas, maybe not so much in trouble. You've still got Charlie standing his ground. It is a 2-for-2 trade-off, and they're going over towards, once again, Z-Freak, the punching bag. Now his 4th death of the game, and maybe also, blink away. Chessie able to quickly disengage. But NiP, they stand their ground. They were ready to fight, and fight they did.
Yep. Pretty even outcome in the end. But again, it's a good sign for them that they're not crumbling with the early disadvantage that they had. Monkey King obviously taking some decent space here in the meantime. Currently queuing up a Radiance. I don't know how much I like that this game for Mara. I think this is the kind
what would
of
be
game
better?
I don't know, just the standard BKB looks nice to me. You know, you're playing against all of this control but very little damage. So if you have BKB, you feel kind of invincible. Maybe you feel like you don't scale hard enough, and that's obviously a concern. If you commit for BKB here, you are committing to fight in that timing of the game and not feel as happy to just farm up as well. So it is kind of in some games the Monkey King doesn't have to be the true carry of the game. Like if you're playing Monkey King with, say, a mid lane Shadow Fiend, for example, then you have another hero that scales insanely well and can carry the game. In this case, it's a Queen of Pain who you put off lane, so she doesn't really have the same tempo as you would imagine from mid hero. And Timbersaw naturally just will, you know, in the physical damage department, he has nothing to show, so the hero does fall off in that regard later on. So maybe Madara feels like he has to.
As a confident TP from Charlie, they're trying to isolate a new hero, and is it once again going to be Timbersaw? Nope, the blink in and the double coil. They get the snap over on Z-Freak as well as Pexu. That's what they want, but fighting inside the Wukong's command, not what the Dire side want. 1-for-1 trade-off, and the slap down from Madara, perfect onto Charlie, combining it with the Spittles. That's going to be Charlie burning out if they stay on top of him, which exactly is what happens from OG.Seed. That is a fast maneuver, and Snako just booted out of there as quick as he possibly could.
See ya.
Can he get a courier at least? Does he get it? Yeah, one courier, one more attack. Yep, got it.
He would love to kill the other one, though. That's the one that has the Orchid on it. But I don't think he saw it, so...
Yeah.
Obviously getting the one he can. Supreme will jump away.
Now that's... It feels really good when a puck is able to grab both of those supports, but... I felt like an easier fight for Madara. Quick little orb out reveals the fact that Nether Ward is on the hillside. Sentry Ward and Observer is down, and there's your Orchid reveal killing off the puck. He won't fall for that one again.
Well, he might not fall for it, but the problem is his Yule isn't ready yet. He has 400 gold to go, so there will be another moment of opportunity unless he finds this safely. To get another jump on the puck. Puck is extremely susceptible to Orchid. It's one of the heroes in the game that it counters the absolute hardest. Obviously super weak defensively except for phase shift. And well, you can't use that. You have a tendency of just dying really fast. So, gotta be careful. Even when Puck gets a Yule, this Orchid still has insane value this game. It's really good against a hero like Caudle, preventing the Will-O-Wisp from coming off. Against Rubik, always lots of value. And it's a bit of a different direction. Queen of Pain in this meta largely picks up Blade Mail first, but I think by playing offlane, you're playing to a slightly different approach in the game. So I like the Orchid first here for that reason. If it was a mid-quap, I think Blade Mail would have been awesome this game, but it's still very good, for sure.
Both teams are starting to back up a little bit and just let things be what they are. Puck's able to clean up the top wave. Maybe Charlie's a little too far up. His team is nearby. They were looking for the bounty runes, but Charlie did not get away, so a quick little track up. Cookie Stump, Russell back. How much have you really got to tank with Vanguard and Hood of Defiance? That will not save you from Walk Up Throne. And more of the Mortimer's Kisses flying forward, killing off Era, over towards the Keeper of the Light. Just no way to retreat. I was going to say, you know what, NiP are actually understanding they shouldn't take a huge fight right now. Maybe this will be a big one if they can kill off Queen of Pain. A quick jump in, and they are able to do the job. It's a good streak being ended, and that maybe helps them have a consolation prize to this fight.
Yeah, it's definitely something. That was a track kill and a kill streak in one, so... A nice revolt. I'm not sure what Chesed was doing that far ahead. Looked like he was chasing for extras, but his team weren't able to connect in time, and then obviously the puck turnaround is really easy. Should mention that the Bounty Hunter has the Spirit Vessel, so they have this solution for Timber, but unfortunately, they don't really seem to get to use it for very long, because I think this is a Yule's for... Is it a Yule's for Timber Flight?
It is. It is. It's coming on the courier.
Wonder why he didn't finish his Greaves instead. That's also a self-dispel against Blessed. Maybe he thinks the Yule has some added value here. But obviously Greaves are awesome for his team to have as well. So, but anyway, this item is great.
23-second cooldown to get rid of track, maybe? Something to work with. Snako, a little bit of trouble. A lot of trouble, actually. Puts down the Will-O-Wisp before he ends up dying, but the grab actually ends up getting 3 heroes together. Connor will still end up going down, but it will buy space for NiP to retreat back to their base, or will it? Russellback still in a bit of an odd position. The cookie jump forward does a lot of work. Now Timbersaw, it's actually a nice stolen chakra, making life very difficult for OG to move away from this one. And Zibe, he's falling so fast with the Spirit Vessel, he actually is brought down. Bounty Hunter doing some work. Your clumsy neck control up the Snapfire. He's able to cookie jump up here, but once again, these chakrams making it so difficult to move away to safety. And disengage that now NiP get a 2-for-1 trade-off with only Coddle going down. Something of little value is lost.
Era has put in serious work in this game. He's made a lot of good plays. He's had a stolen Monkey King stun earlier that set up a core kill top. Now he steals the Chakram and sets this up. I think he's been the standout player so far in this game for NiP, and really needs to bring it here too, because
they're going again in mid. Jump forward so quick over onto Chessie. The silence from Supreme will be enough. Shuriken toss level 4 will do all the work. You know why he's trying to buff it up with the axe, keeping more and more of these tracks on, putting in fact, as fast as he possibly could, the Spirit Vessel onto Madara, but they're a little too deep. NiP, they got a whiff of confidence, and well, they whiffed back.
Who whiffed harder? Honestly, that's kind of the story of a lot of the games in this patch, is teams are still trying to figure out their relative power in the game. Because, you know, your gut feeling of how tanky you are, how much damage you do, it really goes out the window when these secondary parts of attributes just get removed overnight. Like, but I used to survive this with my strength hero. Well, now you don't. So, you know, you really need to develop this, like, instinct, I want to say.
Charlie.
It takes time.
They're having a look towards Roshan, not great vision, and now Clumsy Net going to go back away from Queen of Pain to try and control up Charlie with the Orchid Will-O-Wisp on cooldown for 10 more seconds. They can't get that AoE control, so Charlie tries to get away. You'll set her up, not exactly what they probably planned there, but the Sonic Wave and Mortimer's Kisses will still end up ensuring the kill against the Bristleback. So OG.Seed can think more about Roshan. Once Timber Store changed back the opposite direction.
This is clearly the added value that you get out of Yules instead of Greaves, is the offensive possibility, right? Like, you get Bristle down to half HP, or a third, you Yule him up, and then you have a guaranteed setup for a mega slow Chakram.
Are they going to try and pick up one? Hexu? He's a little bit out of position. They can kill him pretty quickly as the bounces around. It's a good dream call, but the Wukong's command just helping ensure that Roshan will go down as they try and battle inside the Will-O-Wisp. The Aegis Immortal picked up by Madara, but does he get straight into the fight as Pugna drop down low? The Fade Bolt from Era able to kill secure. This is Queen of Pain, very low on life. Once again, these Shurikens will start to bounce around on a Clumsy Net. They just want to ensure the Queen of Pain can't walk away or blink away from the Bounty Hunter. It's a great route and also a great grab on the Monkey King, but he threw him away, not closer. So they don't want to have that fight just yet, but OG.Seed, does it feel like every time they go for an objective, there's always a cost that they do pay?
Yeah, I know what Pexu was trying to do here, standing to the top right to be the smoke breaker, but I don't think it's his job here. I think when you have a Timber Saw, let him be the smoke break. If the enemy team tries to aggress into your Roshan, this Timber has Yules, Hood, and a team behind him to protect him. They lost a Snapfire at the start of that fight, and it made it so much harder to have Pexu out of it. So NiP could kind of just overwhelm them with numbers, and that's a lot of track kills, you know? It's really ramping up the amount of
and now
gold they're getting.
four bounty runes get to go the way of NiP. So money, money, money. That's going to push them actually for the first money. Yeah. Love it. And you get ancient stacks and smaller stacks for Charlie to continue to farm up. He's going for a Radiance build as his next one.
Maybe it's just trendy to queue up Radiance and then not buy it.
Just
Monkey
the cool
got the
thing.
Desto and now he's getting Manta. So he was like, nah, I'm not going to buy that item. I think the Desto is really good value too. I like it way more. It gives you that carry potential, but also gives you way more tempo in the game. Instead of having that almost relic, you have a full Deso in this fight that was just there and the previous one. And yeah, the gold is a slight lead for NiP, but they're playing into an Aegis. So I still... OG.Seed right now, definitely in the driver's seat. But the challenge is for them to find a fight where they need to not lose a key support in the start of the fight. Z-Freak and Pexu have just been dying too much early in fights. Need to play a little bit better behind Timber.
Feeling a little too close. As they jump away, the Observer Wards are down just out of range of the Radiant Sentry, but this is now when you see the Aghanim Shuriken just spam tosses coming in, but who gets the real fight out of this? It's the Timber Store on the front lines, but once again the Spirit Vessel is on him, and the Will-O-Wisp trying to create a lot of space with a Stolen Chakram, once again from Era, really making life a living hell for this Timber, but hey, he'll buy it back. Money lets you live again, and Monkey King, he'll prop the Aegis, the Immortal. NiP, you got so much out of this, but how far do you want to push it? Orchid Silence on Pluck, he's not ready to fight just yet, and in fact, Timber Store right on top of Supreme, wants to kill him off, but difficult to do so. You've still got mass Shuriken Toss and mass tracked up heroes having these bounces doing so much work, so much damage.
Oh my
Timber
God.
down once again. Goodbye Pexu and goodbye Z-Freak. What was that about advantage? What was that about feeling good in this game? It's
gone. It's gone. It's really gone now. Bounty Hunter gets so much gold from this now. Every Shuriken he throws, he obviously procs that Janata and steals the gold, gets the bonus damage on every Shuriken as well. You saw it. This was just a complete turnaround in this game, getting this item before this fight. The Vessel and the Timber, they got completely overwhelmed by playing in the middle of the map, and it's awkward for Monkey King as well to fight here, right? There were no trees for him to play around.
Yep.
And the enemy team had superior vision with that pre-placed ward. So NiP chose a very good place to fight. They get a huge advantage out of this, and now
you got
that
Charlie
was a 9k
having
gold swing in 1 minute. So that's nasty.
Yeah, it's meant to be the bounty hunter. You tried to nerf him, Ice Frog, but now Chakram Era once again able to find his target. Monkey King thought he was okay, but he's underneath the Tinker Ward, and the Stolen Chakram of Era is just always at the right place. That's why you really have no trees to work with, no matter where you fight.
10k. Wow, that was fast. They're in trouble now. Gotta wait for your Monkey King to respawn. You're probably this mid tower's gone. Like you can't kill Bristle right now, and Ziva is probably
Middle tower has fallen.
a little bit worried now, like concerned about how to engage fights. Seemingly he can die really quickly all of a sudden from being almost invincible to being a pinata in 5 minutes. It's never a good feeling when you're playing Timber. So,
Yeah. Okay, Charlie.
yeah, they're feeling
Nice
themselves.
posturing. Yeah, they are.
Can appreciate confidence. There you go. Why not?
Goodbye, Pugna. Let the Shuriken toss his bounce. Z freaks down. He's got buyback available. Queen of Pain hasn't joined this. In fact, he just stole the outpost up on top. Looks like she's trying to finish a BKB before coming into the fight, but it's not stopping Timbersaw from coming into the fight. It's not stopping Timbersaw from dying as well in this fight. Defensive Yule Scepter doesn't have many trees to work with. Once again, they've all been cleared in this land, and Chessie has to blink away to safety. Z-Freak's trying to give life back to Timbersaw. We Spirit Vessel up. Sonic Wave connects overly on one, and that's the Bounty Hunter. He wants to Santa Crown. Z-Freak with the Dagon damage from the puck. It's so much work. Finally, the Bounty has been brought down. And NiP might think maybe now we should probably back up. Get your buyback out from Pugna, pick up on Rubik. Seneko wants to help out with the blinding light, but Era's like, well, okay, I guess I have to try and stand in my ground and fight this, because, well, I'm Era, as Queen of Pain, trapped up once again, both by the clumsy net and then into the Dream Coil. It's Queen of Pain having a very hard time, and Bristleback just tanking through it. Once again, Madara, you feel him now with a double kill. Going through Seneko, but have they got enough to bring down the raid boss? They'll go after Bristleback. You miss your first stun, you miss your second stun, and Charlie just wants to TP. Almost completed out.
So NiP dove really far, and they ended up trading 1-for-1 inside the enemy base. The bounty finally dies. He had no escape plan. He couldn't get out of there with this awkward position. The Monkey King ulti really blocked them off, just cut off the escape through that mid lane. So I think maybe getting a little bit over-eager. It's a very classic thing to do, I think, when you have Bounty Hunter. You know, you just want to ramp up the kills. You just want to play aggressively. You know, if you trade evenly, it's not evenly anymore.
You always feel
so
confident right when you're...
punchback,
It's like an
but-
early game Timbersaw. I feel invincible. Oh, great. No, I'm not. Then mid-game Bristleback feel invincible. Wait, gotta have a reminder.
They're still in a really great spot. Like, yeah, you lost a little bit there, but you got a Pugna dieback out of it, so at least you can play around that next fight. Pugna's a great first kill, taking away the Decrepify possibility and the possibility of dropping the ward if they catch him before that even drops.
Puck's
And
actually got
there's
enough
a clear
money as
plan.
well for like a Dagon level 4. Like, he's burst damaging down with the Bounty Hunter just to
You can get
remove
Dagon
heroes
5.
like Pugna so fast. Yeah, maybe 5 if he wants it.
Do it, pussy. Buy it.
Be reasonable. Buyback is a good thing in the game. He's looking for a target. Monkey King is not that target.
There's no friends nearby. He can't kill... Who can he actually solo kill in this game? I don't think he can solo kill anybody.
If what, Pugna
Maybe
Decrepifies?
I guess, yeah, if Pugna Decrepify... kill me. Yeah, then yeah. Okay.
It's like, hey, can you please stop attacking me? Wait, what if you got everything that hits? All right, well, Decrepify. Hey, not picking up a troll is a good thing in this game for NiP.
There's the smoke. They didn't bring Timber in it though, so he's gonna be pseudo bait or full bait. I'm not exactly sure what their plan is here.
Are you really bait if he dies in like 5 seconds of initiation of NiP?
He shouldn't die in 5 seconds.
Oh,
If
there's 5
Pugna's
heroes smoked
on
up for
the
NiP.
Money here with
Smoke's gonna break for who? Observer ward planted down from Dire. Observer sentry not planted down from NiP just yet. If they plant an obs, they'll see it pretty quickly. Snapfire.
Exo broke.
Yep. Track up pretty quickly. Snap now. Timbersaw jumping in. They're trying Will-O-Wisp, so they have the high ground battle, but Queen of Pain BKBs and doesn't care about it. So Wukong as well as Will-O-Wisp both try and sit in their own sides. And then they realize that, well, actually got to move forward to find a kill. The orb, they get the vision. You also have to rub. Z-Freak thought maybe he could just TP away to safety, but that will not happen. Actually giving a level 4 Decrepify. Well, that's a nice combination with the puck. Now you can Decrepify the Pugna. You'll have to wait a little bit longer for Roshan, 30 seconds till he's up and running. But NiP, another good fight going their way, and a lot more money.
We're at a point now where when the fights get scrappy and long, I think they just clearly favor NiP. Queen of Pain has fallen off really hard. She's this one burst, but not much more to it than that. Monkey King has to isolate somebody or get a good ultimate out so that they can get something done. And again, similar problem to before, right? If it's one of the supports from OG.Seed that gets jumped, they lose so much value out of it. Pextra has been caught 2 or 3, maybe even 4 fights in a row in the front line. It has to be Timber breaking these smokes, and then they have to be able to save him by quickly blinking in and orchiding the key heroes, or him getting off the self-Yules and buying time. Maybe even Decrepify at the right timing, whatever
Era
it is.
has been waiting for this for so long. Able to get the stun, now they get the tracks, and Monkey King unable to escape out this one, or can he? Manta style? Trying to get through the trees, but Era quite rightly secures that kill. He was waiting for 30 seconds for Monkey King to take him.
So much gold.
You just push now, right? 70 seconds on this. Actually, no, you Roshan. You Roshan.
I could kill Roche. I wouldn't be too upset about a push play either. You've got to feel really far ahead, and you know Monkey's out for a minute, so...
Well, they actually don't know he doesn't have buyback. He's short by 120 gold.
Yeah, that's true. They could... I mean, there's something good to be said about forcing the buyback here as well. You have a pretty clear escape plan if you have Will-O-Wisp ready, which is up in 15 seconds. That should get them out to safety.
Oh, hello, pick up over on Queen of Pain. Pick her up, throw it down, jump away, and that's a lot of life that's lost. 1700 HP. You think it's a lot. Bristleback now moving to the bottom lane. I think he's had enough of the repair kit.
Well, he's going to need another one.
Yep. Well, I guess we go back to the middle lane then.
Well, considering they're pushing into repair kit, they should have probably rushed. But I don't know if they were aware that there was a repair kit on the Radiant.
Well, they're going to go back to Roshan now. Maybe they actually just thought, like, well, I think we pushed this enough that Monkey King should have bought back, but Monkey King didn't buy back. So I guess we go back and do Roshan now? Yeah. Well, we bait it.
I like this, too. I like this.
We make him think that we're doing Roshan and then turn around and then look for a fight?
This is what they're doing. Notice what they're doing. They're leaving Suneko in the pit so the scan flares red. So now OG.Seed are like, they're roasting. And then they're going to run in.
Now we see their control. Lotus Orb will break him free so we can chain potentially, but Dream Call also holding him in position. They're going to be careful what abilities they throw the way of Timbersaw. And where's the target? Huh? Monkey King. Era, able to identify it. Queen of Pain jumping in. Very difficult. A good Sonic Wave. BKB's up and then looks for a way back out. This one, the Sonic Wave whiff! And now the Will-O-Wisp comes down. NiP trying to battle under their own protection. Monkey King losing his life so quickly. It's just way too much damage for him to deal with. The Shuriken Toss just bounce around. 2 heroes down without buyback. One of them's the Monkey King, and they're looking for a little bit more, and maybe they've got it. Yule's up in the air. Queen of Pain silences around. It was Puck who started this one up. He's got Dagon in 4 seconds time. He'll wait for Chessie. That should be dead. You have to wait for it. Timbersaw trying to retreat back out, but another Spirit Vessel up on him, and they're all dead. 4 heroes down, looking for the 5th one back at the fountain. But NiP, take the base. It's yours.
That looked... So there's a couple of cool things going on here. First of all, the scan bait. I don't remember who pioneered this a while back, but it's a really good play for the Dire to make. You leave one hero in the pit so the scan flares red for the enemy team. They're like, oh, they're roshing. They start running up and they run into trouble. This time it was the Timber getting caught, and they actually spent spells on him without putting any pressure at all. And then OG went for this flank move that just didn't work out. I think it's a huge problem for Monkey King. He doesn't have BKB. He's just getting isolated and killed every fight. It's one thing you didn't buy it after the Saber, which is fine, but not buying it after the Deso, I think, is kind of a crime in this game. Like, you just... He can't play his hero. He gets messed up by Coddle ulti, he gets messed up by any stun from Rubik. Coil screws with him as well. He's just so limited in how he can play his hero here, so... Not saying a BKB would have won that fight. That's not the point. They're really far behind now. But there was definitely a different opportunity in the game with some slightly different itemization. But still, man, this exploded when he got Ags on Bounty, and they got one good fight. That's absolutely crazy.
And now they want to go again. Double Dream Coil looking just to delete the Monkey King, and that's exactly what happens. We have a blue screen of death for the core of OG. You'll lose your supporters too. Buybacks will come, but not from the Monkey King. Bristleback's in the front lines, but getting another great silence from the Puck, making it difficult for OG to get the perfect combination. Z-Freak! Oh boy! Yep, that Dagon hurts, and they want a little bit more. Coming in underneath the Queen of Pain, picking her up. Z-Freak will give as much life as he can back after buying back inside the fountain. They hold. Cookies jump forward. Now we will really try and test how much the Timbersaw has got. But there's so many Spirit Vessel charges to work with, and there's very little life for him to go for. But they kill the Bounty Hunter with a Sonic Wave from Era, stolen at the back line, just destroys the 2 cores, and that is enough to deafen them to a GG call. Man, Era MVP.
What a win expectancy graph, though.